Ever since I started working out, for whatever reason, I've always wanted to have a massive back. When I would see these bodybuilders do lat spreads and back double bis, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever because it looked like there were just so many moving parts. So this is what my back looked like when I was about a year to a year and a half into lifting. Wasn't anything too crazy, but I definitely had some drastic improvements from when I very first started. Now, these two clips that you see on the screen right here are what my back was looking like at the end of my last cut about 3 to 4 months ago. I can definitely say that my back is one of the better parts of my physique. So this clip you're seeing right here was taken on December 30th, so just about 3 months ago. You can see that I definitely have a decent V taper when I do a lat spread or back double bi. You can see the progress I made was significant. Now I will say that I am proud with the progress I've made on my back, but obviously I want to grow it even more. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what I did to completely transform my back, as well as what I'm going to be doing moving forward to continue to make progress for my back. So before I get into all the exercises, you need to know how often I was hitting my back. For the majority of my fitness journey, I was doing a push-pull leg split, which means that I would hit back twice per week. My split is slightly different now, but I'm still hitting back roughly the same amount of time per week. So obviously I would start all of my pull workouts with a back exercise, since this was the primary muscle group I was trying to target on my pull days. First exercise, in my opinion, is one you should definitely choose wisely, because that's when you're going to feel the freshest and be able to go the hardest on your sets. Obviously because you don't have any fatigue built up yet. So since I wanted a wide back more than anything, I would always start my back workouts with either a lat pull down or weighted pull-ups or even body weight pull-ups. When I was newer to lifting, I would tend to lean towards some variation of lat pull downs, but as I became more and more experienced, I started moving into the weighted pull-ups more often. Now, if you aren't strong enough to do weighted pull-ups yet, or even pull-ups with your body weight, the lat pull down machine is definitely going to be your go-to. Pull-ups or weighted pull-ups isn't any more of an advanced movement compared to lat pull downs. I just feel my lats activate much more with this movement. I would do 3 sets of about 8 to 12 reps, but making sure to go to failure on every single working set. I would grab the bar or handles about shoulder width apart because I felt I could really contract my lats in this position. I know some people prefer the really wide grip, and I know some people prefer a really narrow grip. I like getting the best of both worlds and doing slightly outside of shoulder width. And that's really just preference, so do what works best for you. The second exercise I would do for my back workouts is usually seated single arm cable rows. I really like this exercise because I can get a really nice stretch and contraction on my lower lat. Much better than if I did both sides at the same time, because when you only use one side at a time, it allows you to rotate your body with the movement. When I do this exercise, I pull towards my lower lat, and I could definitely feel that part of my back work. I grab the handle with a neutral grip and rotate up as I pull in. I would do 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps for each side. This is definitely a must-have exercise if you're trying to grow your back. So now I've really emphasized the width of my back as well as my lower lats, which means for the last exercise, I would do something that's strictly focused on building the thickness of my back. For this, I prefer to do bent over rows. The way I like to do my bent over rows is to place my hands over the bar instead of under. I notice that when I have my hands over the bar, I can really target the inner and upper portion of my back. Since this was usually the last exercise I would do in a given workout, I would go pretty light since I have a lot of fatigue built up, and going too heavy on bent over rows is asking for an injury. I don't know about you, but getting injured is definitely something I don't want to have happen. I would do about 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, going to failure, of course. So by the end of this workout, I promise your back is going to be more pumped than you've ever had it before. So this is my typical back routine that's worked for me to build a much wider and thicker back. So I definitely recommend you give it a try yourself, and let me know how it goes.